What if I told you there are places on Earth where gravity seems to work in reverse, where cars roll uphill on their own, and water appears to flow upward? And it's not magic, but a flaw in your own perception. Picture this. You're driving down a quiet country road. You stop your car, put it in neutral, and take your foot off the brake. Slowly, impossibly, the car begins to roll uphill. You pour water on the ground and it flows the wrong way. It feels like you've entered a zone where the laws of physics no longer apply. But you haven't. You've just encountered one of the world's most convincing natural illusions, the magnetic hill. These mysterious slopes exist all over the world, from India to Canada, Australia to the United States. For centuries, locals told stories of supernatural forces, magnetic fields, or even alien interference. But the truth is far more fascinating, and it's happening inside your own brain. So how does a simple hill trick thousands of people into believing they're defying gravity? To understand the magnetic hill illusion, you first need to know how your brain normally makes sense of the world. We rely heavily on visual cues to judge slope, distance, and orientation. The horizon, trees, buildings, these are the reference points that tell you which way is up. But on a magnetic hill, those references disappear, or worse, they lie. Most magnetic hills are located in areas with very subtle, almost invisible slopes. The surrounding landscape, hills, forests, or distant mountains, creates a false horizon. Your brain gets confused. It misinterprets a gentle downhill slope as an uphill one. So when you think you're rolling uphill, you're actually rolling downhill, just not in the direction your eyes are telling you. But why does the illusion feel so real? Because your brain is stubborn. Once it locks onto a false perception, it overrides other senses, even the feeling of motion. That's why people swear they feel the car straining upward. They're not lying, their brains are genuinely convinced. Let's break down exactly how this illusion works in stages. First, the setup. Magnetic hills are almost always found in rural or mountainous areas. There are no tall buildings, no straight roads, no clear horizon lines. Instead, the land tilts in multiple directions at once. Your brain struggles to find a true level. It picks the wrong reference point, often a distant hill or a slanted tree line, and uses that as its guide. Suddenly, what's actually a 3% downhill slope looks like a 3% uphill slope. The mismatch is total. Now, the experiment. When you put your car in neutral, gravity pulls it downward, but downward along the real slope, not the one you see. Since you believe you're on an uphill, the movement feels impossible. Some people even report their cars rolling at surprising speeds, not because of magnetism, but because the real incline is steeper than it looks. But it's not just cars. People test the illusion with water, marbles, even bicycles. And each time, the result is the same. Objects move in the direction of the true slope, while your brain screams that they're moving the wrong way. It's a perfect conflict between sight and physics. Now, what makes certain hills so convincing? Researchers have studied these sites for decades. They've found that the most powerful magnetic hills share a few key features: a curved road, a missing horizon, and surrounding terrain that slopes in the opposite direction to the road itself. This creates a forced perspective, like an optical illusion artist painted the landscape. In some places, like Magnetic Hill in New Brunswick, Canada, the illusion is so strong that park officials have marked the true, level with a painted line on a post. Stand in the right spot and you'll see it. The post is tilted. Your eyes have been fooled all along. But here's the twist. Even when you know how it works, the illusion doesn't go away. You can measure the slope, study the topography, understand the science, and still, when you visit, your car seems to roll uphill. That's because the illusion isn't logical. It's perceptual. Your brain can't unsee what it's already decided is true. This reveals something profound about how we experience reality. We trust our eyes more than almost any other sense. But on a magnetic hill, that trust is broken, and we're left with a humbling reminder that what we see isn't always what's really there. Today, many magnetic hills have become tourist attractions. Signs explain the science, and visitors come from all over to experience the weird sensation for themselves. But even with all the explanations, the magic never really fades. Because feeling your car roll uphill is a moment of pure cognitive dissonance, a brief, thrilling suspension of the ordinary. And perhaps that's the real gift of the magnetic hill. It doesn't just trick your eyes, it invites you to question your assumptions, to wonder, to test, to explore. In a world where we're so sure of what we see, these places remind us that reality is often stranger than it appears. Have you ever visited a magnetic hill or experienced a gravity-defying illusion yourself? Share your story in the comments, and if you want to uncover more of nature's hidden mysteries, subscribe to Nature Unlocked.